who was the one that spoke with Barack Obama at a town hall event yesterday. And this is when, remember, Senator Obama mentioned my name, that he should be on Fox News to debate me and tear me up.
Okay, Mr. Burgess, he can speak.
Oh, put me on your stand.
I might have to put Mr. Burgess on Fox News. You know, I'll put Mr. Burgess up against Sean Hannity. He'll tear him up.
All right, so Mr. Burgess joins us on our newsmaker line. He's here to tear me up on behalf of Senator Barack Obama. How are you, Mr. Burgess?
I'm doing mighty fine. How are you doing, Tom?
Well, first of all, I appreciate you being on the program. Now, you said you wanted to work for Barack Obama. His first mission, his first charge is for you to tear me up. You want to tear me up?
No, I don't.
Now, do you think? Let me ask you a question. Do you think it's appropriate for a presidential candidate, a uniquely qualified individual who's going to transcend the bitter politics of the past, to be talking about, in one case, if they bring a knife, I'll bring a gun, talking about John McCain, and sending out people like yourself to tear up people like me?
No, truthfully, I don't think he meant it in that way. It was sort of a little josh there. I don't think he really meant it in that respect.
Yeah.
But it did what it did for me, and I guess the rest of those people in there, that showed that the common person, we do have a part in this process.
You do.
We do have a voice, and I think he would make me representative of that, and I had a deep appreciation for that, because I felt that the presentation I made there, it was honest. It was outstanding, I personally feel. And I think that he just wanted to share that and share me also in terms of my feelings as Joe Public.
All right, well, you know something, I listened to your whole comments, and by the way, yes. Mr. Burgess, listen, we live in the greatest country God gave man. And one of the great blessings in this country, and I think you'd agree with me about this, is that you have a right to support whoever you want to support for president. And I don't blame you for that. I actually admire your passion. And here's what you said that led to Senator Obama urging you to tear me up.
We, the Democrats, are a party of inclusion. So I think what we need to do today, starting today and points beyond, is to do this. Let's try to systematically educate the opposition rather than systemically indoctrinate it. Because somehow there's a lack of understanding between two words. One is reassessment and the other being flip-flop. I'm tired of hearing that word. So at this point in time, you are what we call a reassessment person. When change happens, you're not afraid to make that transition, which you would be remiss to do otherwise. Now, what I'm saying is this, and thank you. What I'm saying is this about Senator Obama. Guys, believe me, I studied this gentleman. Two key elements of character that he has, and I mean this from my heart. This gentleman here not only speaks from the empathy, but he listens not only with his eyes, his ears, and his heart, but intellectually as well. And last but not least, let me say this. If this is our next president, he will in fact lead not only the Democratic Party, but this entire country from a culture of criticism to a culture of recognition. Thank you.
All right. That was pretty good.
Thank you.
All right, well, he said that. I didn't say that. Look, look, you're entitled to your opinion. Mr. Burgess, you know what? God bless you for being involved in the process, and I mean this sincerely. And when you use the words, I've studied this man, I said, all right, well, we just come to very different conclusions about Barack Obama. And you know what? God bless you. We just have a different point of view. Here's the point that I want to raise with you, though, and then you can tear me up and do whatever, you know, Barack Obama's team would like you to do to me. But here's what you say: reassessment versus flip-flop. Let me just run through the different issues. In the campaign, when he was running against Hillary, he supported public financing of campaigns. Now he's against it. We know he changed his position on NAFTA. We know he changed his position on missile defense, on surveillance. We know he's had 4 different, unique, separate positions on Iraq. He once said about Iran, quote, it's a tiny country and not a serious threat. 2 days later, he said it's a grave threat. He said he'd meet with Ahmadinejad without preconditions, and then he pulled back from that. He talked about Jerusalem being undivided, and then he changed his position on that. Let me play one, and we have all of the tape here, and I can play it for you. It would take far too long that we don't have time for here, but let me give you an example. Here is him on the issue of oil reserves. Now, this was him first back, I think, July 7th, and this is his position now.
We should sell 70 million barrels of oil from our strategic petroleum reserve, which in the past has lowered gas prices within 2 weeks. I do not believe that we should use the strategic oil reserves at this point. The strategic oil reserve, I think, has to be reserved for a genuine emergency. Just words, just speeches.
Let me give you one other one just to illustrate a point about public financing. This was his position during the campaign against Hillary Clinton versus today.
I strongly support public financing. We've made the decision not to participate in the public financing system for the general election. What I'd like to see is a system of public financing of campaigns. Just words, just speeches.
Do you know, I understand what you're saying, but you know, if you've really studied him, you've got to be concerned that he is doing and saying everything for political expediency. Does that not cross your mind?
That to a degree, yes, because I mean, I understand the political arena because I'm 60 years old and I've been around this all my life. All my people, they were deeply into politics and everything, and I understand that. But again, just let me say that when situations tend to change, okay, and the run that you gave me there, it would, to some people, which can be construed as a flip-flop. But I say again, and not to be redundant with this thing, but it's reassessing a situation that changes from day to day.
All right, but let me ask you this. All right, let me ask you this. When he finally distanced himself, for example, you remember Reverend Wright?
Well, certainly.
In the controversy. All right, let me just remind people. This is Reverend Wright. Some of the things that he has said.
White America, U.S. of KKKA, America's chickens coming home to roost.
No, not God bless America. God America. God America.
Do you think he was honest when he said that he didn't know Reverend Wright had those views?
Well, you know, that could be true. But, you know, some people are, I call them wolf in sheep clothing, and they wear that mask well, and they can fool you for years.
Truman, wait, hang on a second. But he sat there for 20 years.
20 years, I understand exactly what you're saying. And to a degree, yeah, I would think somehow you would know this individual, his thoughts, and almost his every move.
All right, but then let me ask you this: when he finally did hear it, then why didn't he condemn it and then leave the church immediately? Why did it take him a second time to say the very same things at the National Press Club before he pulled away from Reverend Wright?